Hey guys, I want to do a little video on my latest acquisition. This is a 1983 Ford EXP. That's right, I found another one. Just a little backstory on these for people that don't know what it is. It's Ford EXP. They made these from 82 till 88, and Mercury made their version from just in 82 and 83 only. They were the first two-seater Ford made since the Thunderbird in the 50s. That's what they toted them as. It's just a 4-cylinder economy car type of deal. So the story on this one, I was on Facebook last weekend. A post came up. A fella had bought this car, pulled over a barn. He was taking it for scrap. So I messaged him and said I'd be interested in buying the whole thing. We talked back and forth. He had quite a lot of interest in the car. He had some other offers that were more than I was willing to pay. So I left it for a day and then went back to him, and we talked and negotiated a price. It's a little more than what I wanted to pay for the car, being I was buying it sight unseen. But anyways, we made a deal. I drove 8 hours driving round trip to get the car, plus some stops for food and gas and everything it made, and for loading it's probably a 10-hour day. Anyway, so the story the feller I got it from gave me on it. This car was in a building that the building was falling down basically, so they were tearing the building down. This car was in it. The owner just wanted to get rid of it, so the fella I know the owner, and he just was taking it for scrap. So it's a no keys, no papers deal on this one. I had a look at the inspection sticker. 1996. That is January 1996 was last inspection. So the car's been sitting for 29 years. Let's take a walk around, have a look at it. It seems to be a fairly solid car. It's had at least one repaint, some touch-ups on some rusty spots, just with, I would say, trim clad or something like that. I'm kind of digging these factory steel style wheels with the chrome rings and centers. They're kind of neat looking. I can't say this car was never winter driven. She's got, I would say, these winter grippers probably put on her not too long before it was parked. Tiny little tires, 155 80 13s. Like I said, the body's pretty solid. Fenders have no holes. There's rust on the wheel lips, which I'm hoping I can just sandblast that and have myself a good set of fenders for the LN7. The doors look good on the outside, but both doors are pretty much pooched on the inside. They're pretty rotten in there. Little wells along the bottoms. The back wheel wells look good. This is the section I need for the LN7 that's pretty rotten on my car. The inner fenders all looks really good, actually. I'd say that's all original paint in there. Hatchback, so the first 2 years of EXP production, they had this notchback type of hatchback. 84 and up would have the bubble window. Mercury LN7 had the bubble window for their 2 years as well. This side This car was probably damaged on this side at one point. It's a little rougher than the other side. There's some body filler there. But again, the wheel lips are all good. Inside, the fender wells is nice and clean as well. Front fender on this side is good too. They have these taillights is also an 82, 83 only. They changed in 84 to a different style. Rear valence is nice as well. Rockers are good. The floor under the seats is rotten. I'll have a look at the inside here, show you that. Interior is very nice. Seats have like no wear at all. A couple little cracks there. Other than that, it's perfect. The carpet is very good as well. You see that little guy? The car was full of rodent droppings when I got it. I have cleaned the interior, but it still stinks really bad. So I'm going to take the seats and carpet and have them professionally cleaned, see if we can get the stink out of it. Everything looks very original, unmolested type of deal. She's pretty standard inside. It's showing 82,000 kilometers. I don't know if that's the original mileage or if it's 182, but by the look of the interior and everything, I would say it could be the original mileage, 82,000. The only options it has really is the AM/FM cassette and the sunroof. Also, the sun visors are in good condition. They're just made of cardboard, so those in my other car are bad, so I'll be using those. That's pretty much it for the interior. Like I say, no keys, no papers, so I can't. I'm gonna have to figure out what to do for that situation. The hood release was broken on the car, so I'm thinking this car has probably sat for almost 30 years without the hood being opened. When I opened the hood, here's what I found. Oh, if I can get it open. Wow. So it was totally full of, I'd say, either mice or squirrels, something. When I opened the hood, nuts and stuff fell everywhere. But it looks good underneath. All the fender aprons and stuff look to be solid. Only see minimal surface rust on the rated support and things like that. Get the hood prop up here. Yeah, so one of the surprises when I opened the hood was this. Is a 1.6 liter high output. My LN7 is just a standard 1.6. So the high output gives you dual snorkel air cleaner, exhaust header, different pistons, which I have in my other engine that I've rebuilt already, different cam, and a different carburetor for another 10 horsepower. So I will be reusing a lot of that stuff on the LN7. Now the thing with these engines, and probably the reason why it was parked, I assume the reason why it was parked, the heads crack, they get hot and crack between the valves. So generally a lot of times, once that happens, they just get parked and never get repaired. So usually when that happens, the cylinders, the antifreeze gets in the cylinders and the engines get seized. And that's kind of the end of them. Now on this one, When I was taking it off my trailer, I put it in gear to hold the car while I disconnected the winch cable. And lo and behold, the car started rolling down the ramps. So this engine, I discovered, was not seized. I pulled the dipstick. The oil is clean, no antifreeze in the oil or anything. So my plan from here is to clean up under the engine bay here. I'll pull the plugs, have a look in the cylinders, dump some oil in there, and then I will let that sit for a bit, and then I want to do a compression test on it and go from there and possibly maybe get this car running. I also noticed master cylinder still has fluid in it. The guy said none of the wheels were seized when he put it on his trailer, and they're not seized now, obviously. I can move around pretty easily, so that's interesting. The car may run and drive. We will see. That's my next step. Yeah, so this car also has a 5-speed. My LN7 is a 4-speed, so I will be using that. The LN7. And I think that's pretty much it. So I'll get her cleaned up here and have a look, and I'll check back and let you know how I make out. Okay, so back on the EXP. I got the plugs all out. Cylinders all looked really good, actually. You can see, you probably can't see that on camera. No, not at all. Anyway, the cylinders all look good. The only problem was the spark plugs were super hard to get out. Almost looks like they're cross-threaded, some of them. But they're all clean. Don't see any problems with any of those. I also soaked down the carburetor with some seafoam, so that's all working. Everything seems to be free. I put some Marvel Mixture oil in the cylinders. I'm just going to let that sit here for a while, and then I'll do the compression test and see what she looks like. All right, everybody, I'm back at it. I've had the Mixture oil soaking those cylinders for most of the day. I'm gonna see if I can get this thing to turn over here now and get the oil out of the cylinders, and then I'll do a compression test on it. Whoa. That went good. Okay. Yuck. I got the right end on here. May not. Just a second, I'm gonna pause. I'll be right back. I did have the right end. It was just a little hard to turn in. Okay, compression on cylinder number 1. Let's see what she says. $210, that's pretty crazy. All right, just a second, I gotta clean up some oil here and we'll do the next one. That was pretty crazy, 210. Cylinder number 2. Zero. That's not so good. Let me just try that one more time. Not good. Okay, I'll try the last 2. Okay, cylinder number 3. All right, try the last one. Okay, cylinder number 4. My guess is I'll have compression here. Usually the head goes in the 2 center cylinders. Let's see here. Nothing. That is weird. Nothing at all. Okay, well, yeah, we definitely have some engine issues. Don't think we'll be firing her up. Oh well, still good parts car. So I just got to thinking, while I was sticking the plugs in, weird they had no compression in any cylinder except for number 1. The other thing these engines are kind of known for is timing belts. And this is an interference engine. So if the timing belt breaks, generally the pistons will make contact with the valves and bend the valves and all that type of deal. So lo and behold, I took the valve cover off. Just had a little peek in there. You can see the lifters. And when I turn it over, just show you here, nothing. So I would say we have a broken timing belt. Maybe that was all that was wrong with this engine. So that'll be the next step. Pop the cover off, and I will get her timed up. But I won't be doing that today. I have other plans today. But yeah, so the work continues. We may be able to make this a runner yet. All right, so I got the timing belt cover off. It was a bit of a battle. Not much room down in there, as you can see. I didn't read the manual till afterwards. The manual says to take off the motor mount to get the timing belt cover off, which I did not do. Anyways, so the good news is broken timing belt. Bad news is broken timing belt. It's an interference engine, so when the timing belt goes, it could mean some piston to valve contact happened. I may have bent valves and all that kind of stuff. So I decided before I put the timing belt on, which is going to be a chore, so I have to get that bottom crank pulley off to get the timing belt on. So I thought I'd pull the valve cover, see if I can tell if I have any valve damage. So I got that. I've had that off here. Good news on this is, to me, that engine looks really clean compared to the other ones I've taken apart. And consider it's been sitting for 30 years. So what I did, I put some oil down these oil return holes here that lands on the cam lobes to lubricate that a bit. And the good news is, when I turn this over, I've ran this over a few times, it seems like all the valves are going up and down. I don't see any don't seem to be coming back all the way. None of them are stuck. So I went ahead and ordered a timing belt on Rock Auto. It was $2.81. So I ordered a few of them. They have some spares. I ordered some other stuff when I was on there. Fuel filter, that was like $1 and change, I believe. Ordered a new air filter, that was like $3 or $4. Wholesaler closeouts. So I got a bunch of new stuff. I'm going to throw a timing belt on it here once I figured how to get that crank pulley off, so I can get it in. I went on the online forums, and if worst comes, some people say to drill a hole through the inner fender so you can get a socket in there, or undo the motor mount, drop the motor down so it'll clear the frame and take it off that way. So that's the next step. I'll work on that, see if I can get a timing belt on her, and I'll try the compression test again. So I'll be back. All right, so I had the timing belt all on. Tried to turn it over. Found out the water pump is seized. So that might have been the whole problem all along. That would have stripped the belt and led to all the other problems. So I'm going to check and see if I may have a brand new one downstairs in my parts supply. I'm not sure, but I'll check that out. And if not, I'm sure I have a used one off one of my other engines. So I'll get that on there and try again. Well, that turned out to be a bit more of an ordeal than I was thinking. But I got the old water pump out. It was seized solid. They made this with some bolts that you just cannot get to get the water pump out and get it back in, but at any rate, I got it out and in. I turned it over a few times. It did jump a cog once, so I'm gonna have to keep an eye on that, but I'm ready to try the compression test again. I don't expect it to be perfect where it's been sitting with a couple of valves open for a while, but we'll see. So this is number 1 cylinder. We'll see what she looks like. Wowzers. It's about, what would that be? 210, 220, 225, 230? I think that's really high, but I'm not sure. Let's try the next one. Let's put the camera working. Okay, cylinder number 2. 150. Alright, number 3. About 165. Last one. One's a bit lower. Oh, just over 130. But his compression on all the cylinders, I'd say it'll probably run. We'll clean up some stuff here. Get the plugs in it. Throw a little gas down the carburetor and see what it says. Alright, so I stuck some plugs in. I did check to make sure she didn't jump a cog on the timing. I didn't even check to see if there's any spark. I'm just going to dump a little gas in it here and see if she barks. That should be more than enough. Here goes nothing. think it's going to run. Give it another little drink. Okay, I'm gonna hook up a temporary fuel boiler. I'm gonna suck any gas out of the tank. Hopefully it doesn't need suck any gas out already. I had that disconnected. A little bit. Yeah, I'll hook up some fuel to it and try it here again. All right, I have a temporary fuel supply hooked up here. Give her another little drink. Let's see what she says. Way too much gas. All right. Bring the thunder. I don't know if she's picking up fuel or not. Give her a little drink here and try again. Fuel pump may not be any good. Bring the thunder. I think that fuel pump is sucking anything. Well, seems to be. One more try. Bring the thunder. One more time. And I'm gonna put some hook some stuff back off on her and put some antifreeze in her before I hurt it. Don't want to hurt it, that's for sure. Well, there you go. Fuel pump on her and she will probably work. Excellent. I have a spare engine for the LN7. So one more update on the EXP. As you can see, it's I got it running now. I had it for a drive up and down the road. I think the brakes work, but I think they're sticking a bit. Probably from sitting for so long, they probably stuck on a little. So what I found out to get it running here, after last time I had it running, I hooked the alternator up, filled it up with antifreeze, and then got it going again. I thought the fuel pump was bad. Turns out, after I investigated some more, the fuel pump was working. I think the problem was maybe the needle in the carburetor, because it would run for a bit and then it would start to die out, and I just would tap the carburetor and then it would come back. So I did that for a while until I got it. Now it seems to be worked itself out. But anyway, I would say that was a successful, whatever you would call it, a successful rescue. It's now run and drive again after close to 30 years. Main problems ended up being the water pump BNCs, which broke the timing belt. And other than that, it was just a lot of trial and error, trying different things to get her going, but she seems to run fine. No noises. It's got oil pressure. No exhaust, of course. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy with that. It doesn't smoke. It smoked a little bit the first time I started it, but I had a lot of oil dumped in the cylinders. Those cylinders, the compression was down a little bit. I'm assuming they will probably come back. Probably the valves might have had some rust or whatever on them just from sitting open for so long. But yeah, so there she is, another one kind of saved, I guess. Saved for parts at least.